angels, they need to put in the effort, and then they see the results of that effort. Of the stories that is mentioned, Ibn Abbas narrates that, and this hadith is in Sahih Muslim, that one of the Sahaba was in hot pursuit of one of the mushrikun, and he heard the sound of a whip coming from in front of him. You know the sound of the whip, that flash that comes. He heard the sound of a whip, and he heard a rider cry out, but he couldn't see. He heard a rider cry out, "Aqbil Hayzum." Go forth, Hayzum. Hayzum is the name of an animal. It's not, you know, the animals have names. As you know, people give names to their animals. Hayzum is the name of a horse. And so he heard a rider calling out to his horse, which shows us even the angels name their animals, right? He calls out to their horse, "Go forth and attack Hayzum." And he saw in front of him that the mushrik that he was about to attack, when the sound of the whip came, his nose was simply chopped off, without the Muslim lowering the sword. So the sword is up. Before he can lower it, the angel has done his job for him. And this is again the key point here, that the angels helped the believers. Every action they began, the angels completed it. Again, this is a very deep point here, that Allah Azza wa Jal showed that you need to get to that point. You need to raise your sword, then I'm going to help you. Right? You're not going to sit in the tent and let it happen by itself. And when he came and he told the Prophet ﷺ that this happened to me, and the man was killed by circumstances beyond my understanding, the Prophet ﷺ said, "You have told the truth, قَدْ صَدَقْتَ." I'm not accusing you, you have told the truth. That was a help that Allah had sent down from the Sama al-Thalith, the third Sama. You know, there are 7 heavens, سَبْعَ سَمَوَاتٌ طِبَاقًا, right? So the third of those heavens, that angel is from that heaven. And he came to help you at this occasion. And once, when Al-Abbas was brought as a prisoner of war, we'll talk about the story of Abbas, a very interesting story. That's next Wednesday, inshallah. When Abbas was brought as a prisoner of war, and Abbas was a strong man, and Abbas was a warrior, and the Ansari who bought him was a stout, short, yani not a very strong person, right? And so Abbas was like very angry. And when he got to the Prophet, this is of course the uncle of the Prophet, when he got to the Prophet, and before even the Ansari can say anything, he said, "Ya Rasulullah, this man did not capture me," because he's embarrassed. Like, he's such a big man, and then here's this little Ansari, half his size or something, and he's bringing him as a, "This man did not capture me," right? And the man was saying, "No, I captured him. Look, I have him in my hand, right? I'm the one who captured him." And so Abbas is looking around, trying to see, where is this man? He said, "No, Ya Rasulullah, the man who captured me, he had parted his hair, and he was the most handsome man I have ever seen, on a beautiful horse, black and white mixture." So Adlaj, it's the most beautiful horse of theirs, black and white mixture, and he's trying to look around. He goes, "But I don't see where he is." Trying to see, this is the man, the big man, not this teeny guy. The big guy captured me. I want to, make sure you guys understand. This guy did not capture me, right? So the Ansari said, "No, Ya Rasulullah, I was the one. I was the one who got him." And so the Prophet said, "Be quiet, for Allah helped you with a malakun kareem, a noble angel." Right? That you are not able to capture Al-Abbas by yourself, you were aided. You are right in your own perception that you're running behind him and then you think you got him, but in reality Allah Azza wa Jal aided you by a malakun kareem. Now, remember we had said before the battle that the Prophet ﷺ had specified 2 people, and some versions say that he also specified the children of Hashim, Banu Hashim, which is basically his uncles and his immediate cousins, right? That he said, the Banu Hashim have been forced to come and fight. They did not want to fight. And by the way, this probably also explains Abu Lahab is still in Mecca, right? Abu Lahab is his uncle, and he did not come. And they excused him being the senior of the Banu Hashim. But the youngers of the Banu Hashim, the Prophet said, "Ukrihu ala al-qital," that they were forced to fight and they did not want to fight. So he knows this. And it's not just his family. He also mentioned, who can remember the other Sahabi? There's one more Sahabi he mentioned, or at this point, not a Sahabi, excuse me, a Qurashi, not a Sahabi. He mentioned one more Qurashi. No names. You guys are all taking notes. Abu al-Bukhtari. Abu al-Bukhtari, what was special about him? What did he do? Why did he get this honor? Why did he get this honor? He helped them in the Sha'b of Abi Talib. He helped them in there by sending food and water, and most importantly, he was one of the main people who caused this treaty to be finished. Right? So notice here, the Prophet ﷺ, the evil treaty, you know, the boycott, he broke the boycott. Notice here, the Prophet ﷺ is repaying a favor. Think about it. That not all the Quraysh are the same. And those who have done good for the Muslims, they will be remembered. They will be remembered. And this is something multiple times throughout the seerah. And this clearly shows us that we as Muslims living in a non-Muslim land, we look at the sympathetic non-Muslims, we see who's supporting the cause of freedom, the cause of letting every religion practice its faith, and we do not treat them the same way that we treat Islamophobes. This is a clear cut from the seerah, that those who treat us with justice and dignity and kindness, we have to return the favor, and there's nothing wrong with this. There are some isolationist, narrow minds amongst us who say, all kuffar this and all kuffar then. Wallahi, this is so backward. I can't believe people are still saying this, especially after all that has happened. No, not all kuffar. Some kuffar, yes, they have kufr, but they also stand for truth and justice. Right? Their kufr does not prevent them. Kufr means they are not Muslims. They believe in something else. But their kufr does not prevent them from standing up for truth. And Abu al-Bukhturi was one such person. Right? And Mut'im ibn Adi was another person. And we're going to come to Mut'im ibn Adi as well. In the Battle of Badr, he's mentioned. Even though he's dead. Mut'im ibn Adi has been dead for a while, a few months, but he will be mentioned in the Battle of Badr. And we'll come to this again. And so Abu al-Bukhturi and Abbas and the Banu Hashim have been said that they will not be killed. Yet another, there's many of these reports, yet another unnamed Ansari, we don't have his name, he mentions to his son, and so his son then says, my father said, and his father was a Sahabi, and a Sahabi who is unknown does not affect the validity of the hadith chain. It's a bit of an advanced point here. But if you don't know the name of the Sahabi, the chain is still authentic. Whereas if you don't know the name of the second or third or fourth person, then for sure the hadith is weak. As for the Sahaba, if somebody says one of the Sahaba said, or if somebody says my father was a Sahabi and we don't know his name, we don't care, because jahadatul Sahabi la tadur. That the fact that a companion is unknown does not affect the chain. So he says that his father told him that when he was pursuing the enemy or fighting with the enemy, before he could lift his sword, he saw the man fall dead in front of him with a sword wound. So before he could actually do this, the final blow, the man actually dies in front of him. So he said, my father knew that he was being helped, that there is some divine help coming. There's also a beautiful hadith in Mustadrak of Al-Hakim that Zubayr ibn al-Awwam, and what did the Prophet call Zubayr ibn al-Awwam? He is my hawari. He is my helper. Every prophet has a hawari, and Zubayr is my hawari. And Zubayr is the father of Abdullah ibn Zubayr, and his wife is Asma bint Abi Bakr. These are things you should now begin to piece together. There's a lot of names, but you should learn to piece them together. Zubayr ibn Awwam, the Prophet ﷺ said, he is my hawari, my helper. So it is mentioned in the Mustadrak of Al-Hakim that Zubayr ibn Awwam was wearing a yellow turban on the Battle of Badr. And therefore, to imitate him, all of the angels came down in the same garment as Zubayr, including the yellow turban. And this is a great honor for Zubayr ibn Awwam, that all of the angels came fi ziyyi, in the mannerisms or in the clothes of Zubayr ibn Awwam. Whatever he was wearing, as an honor to him, all of the angels came wearing the exact same garments as well. And these angels that came down, these 1,000 angels, Allah chose them Himself, and Allah blessed them through the Battle of Badr. Jibreel once asked the Prophet ﷺ, as the Prophet ﷺ told us later on, Jibreel came to me and asked me, and this hadith is in Bukhari, what do you think, the Muslims, what do you think of those who participated in Badr? So the Prophet ﷺ said, we think they are the best of all of us. We think they are the best of all of us. So Jibreel said, and similarly, those who participated in Badr from the Malaika, we too think the same. So Allah blessed, so Badr is so important that Allah blessed those 1,000 angels. And this shows us that even the angels have ranks. Not all of them are the same. That the angels have their own internal ranks, and the elite of them are those who participated in Badr. Here I want to comment here, I've referenced this a number of times. Why did Allah Azza wa Jal send 1,000 angels when frankly one angel could have done the job? Right? I mean, the angels cannot be seen. They can quickly go instantaneously and do everything right then and there. And when Allah Azza wa Jal wanted to destroy the people of Lut, it is said that Jibreel simply took his wing. He came in his real form, as big as the sky can see. And he took his wing, one tip of it, and he just hit the ground next to the cities. And the cities, as a reaction to that, they flipped all the way up and then they came crashing down. Right? This is in our reports. This is exactly what the hadith say, that he just touched, he hit the ground. Daraba, he hit the ground with his wing. With one portion, he has 700 wings. With one portion or one of those wings, and that was so powerful that the whole cities were basically destroyed. So then why does Allah Azza wa Jal send 1,000 angels when one of them could have done the job? And again here we get to the simple fact that throughout the Quran and Sunnah, the entire message that is given is you don't get anything for free. Not even Jannah. You're not going to get it for free. You have to put in an effort. And even if that effort is not worth the result, Jannah is not worth our actions. Right? We don't earn Jannah. Right? Even if the result is much more priceless than your price that you pay, you need to pay some price. Allah Azza wa Jal will look at your effort and not at how much you've done, the quality. Allah will look at the quality and not the quantity. You need to do something. And therefore, when those Sahaba, the 300 of them, are literally going and walking into death, they're literally taking their swords out, then Allah will send those angels, as we said, to complete each one of them what they're doing. The angels did not fight single-handedly. They didn't just go and get rid of the Quraysh while the Sahaba did nothing. No. They were mukammal, they were mumid, they were amadda. Which is, we gave so many examples, right? Every time we hear of an incident, the Sahabi is doing something. Then the angel finishes it off. Think about that. Never do we hear of an incident where the angel does the whole chore for the Sahaba. You see the point here, right? You have to, of course the Arabic is akhdh al-asbab, you have to follow the means to get to the end. Right? You have to traverse the path to get to the destination. The destination is not going to be picked up and brought to you. You need to get there, and even if you're not able to, Allah will bless you. But you need to put in the dedication to do so. I mean, subhanAllah, even Maryam alayhi salam, when she's all alone, and she's starving and she cannot do, she's in labor, right? And everyone who has children knows what labor means, right? Especially our sisters. She's in labor, she's hungry. And Allah says, don't worry, I'll bless you. But you need to shake the tree. You need to shake the tree. The dates did not just fall from the skies into her lap, right?